Okay. Thank you very much. Welcome to a very special episode of the Batch Boys. This is the Boys Tell All. Really exciting. You know, it's been a real exciting season of the Batch Boys, the inaugural season, and the historic 20th of The Bachelor. Very, very exciting. So let's welcome back some of our favorite boys from this season. I'm Ryan S.
I'm Casey S.
I'm Daniel B.
And I'm Jake C.
And we are the Batch Boys. Boys, it must be crazy to be back in the Batch Boys studio for all of you, huh?
Yeah, it's very crazy.
Especially you
Especially for me.
You know, how you feeling? How was work?
You know, it was good. I feel like I might be a little out of touch with how things maybe go around here, but I'm still, my heart's in it, and I love it more than anything, and I can honestly say that I do love it.
Wow. Well, you know, hey, we love you, and we can honestly say that right back to you.
Most of us.
Ooh.
Who is this?
So,
All right,
back
guys.
at it again.
Yeah,
with the
we don't
hot
forget.
cues.
We don't forget.
Casey does, apparently. But
Selective memory is a great weapon.
selective negligence on Casey's part because he willingly forgot Jake.
Look, I lost myself in the relationship that I was developing for Ben. As a supporter and a fan of his journey to love, and in that process, I forgot that other people were here. I think it's a very natural and instinctual part of The Bachelor.
Well, it's funny that you say that because speaking of forgetting that people were here, Kayla was one of your pick. Kayla was your season pick for the winner who was going to make it the furthest. And at some point, things just went wrong for you, Casey. You know, you lost that connection with Kayla, and you came out as saying on the record that you don't think that Kayla's here for necessarily the right reasons. Where do you think that things went wrong with you and Kayla, Casey?
Look, I just think it's a long journey, and I think when it first started, I felt like Kayla was there for the right reasons. I felt like she was there for Ben, and she was there for herself. She left her boyfriend that she was with at the time to pursue Ben because she felt that her heart needed him and that she was ready for him. And I felt that for her. I felt that too, and I thought she was cute. Thought she was bubbly, very smart. She is a very smart girl, and just a whole lot of fun, which I thought Ben needed because he's kind of boring. But as things developed, it just felt more and more to me like she was falling in love with TV Ben and not real Ben, where I felt like Lauren and JoJo, I could see these genuine connections, ones that transcended just being there on a crazy date that ABC was putting together. And so for me, I just I still have a lot of love for her as a person, and I don't want her to think that my picking her was meaningless. Like I want her to know that I picked her for a reason and that she taught me a lot about myself.
Are you? It feels like you might be channeling a little bit of Lace in there because in reiterating to us that it's not meaningless. Who are you trying to convince here, Casey? That us or yourself? That this was there meaning behind your pick with Kayla, and do you think that you got to grow as a person because of the journey you went on with her?
Look, I don't have a crazy story like Jubilee. I'm not a Haitian orphan. I don't have all these these
Great
crazy
airtime.
life. Yeah,
Great airtime for Haiti tonight.
Shouts out for airtime to orphans.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and
everywhere.
so for me, I hadn't had a big growing experience, and I think that this journey with Kayla has taught me a lot about what love means. And I think it's about just really feeling like that person that you're with, they get you and that they support you. And I just don't think Ben and Kayla ever got each other. You know what I mean? Like I felt like they tried and it just didn't happen.
I understand. They're very opposites.
Mm-hmm.
That was powerful, Casey.
They like to talk smart things, as they say. Speaking of talking smart things, Daniel, what was it like for you to see Olivia back on that stage tonight?
Yeah, it was.
Came real close to losing all the audio equipment
This is
here.
our equivalent of the chicken in the studio.
Yeah. Tiara, Colonel Sanders. Shout out to Tiara, Colonel Sanders, and that amazing fowl. Chicken's a fowl.
Chicken is a fowl.
I know my birds. I know my avian terminology.
Here's the thing, Ryan. If there were a book about launching an internet podcast about The Bachelor from the perspective of four handsome young boys, I would have read it.
I would have read it 3 times through.
I would have read about the gas money that I would have needed to set aside, or
the stress,
or the tired mornings at work. And the thing is
hey, do you need a Kleenex? Does anyone have a Kleenex? Get this man a Kleenex!
no, it wouldn't be a part of the show if we did that.
Okay, sure.
I'm just really sorry for my pick this season. You guys know that I meant it when I selected her. She won the first impression rose. That was great.
Of course.
But everything got so derailed when I found out she read books. And
that mouth.
oh my gosh,
That abyss.
mouth.
That endless abyss of a mouth.
I'm sorry, but don't you see how your actions were very hurtful to Haley and Emily?
And could be offensive to a lot of people, Daniel.
I just got to say that when you made your pick, you thought you were all high and mighty, like you were predicting her. Strategically, you see the previews of a blonde girl or something.
Mm-hmm.
And,
I did not see that.
And then me, I'm picking this person who just has almost no coverage, and so what? I liked her, and it made me feel good. So I chose her because I like the unicorn mask. I like the.
You did not like that,
game
and
she
I didn't
played?
see any previews like that.
Oh, okay. Well,
At all.
Interesting. Well,
then I'm just making it up.
I was in the room, Daniel, when you said that you just saw a pretty blonde girl at the end of the season, and you thought, in the season preview, you said, I saw a pretty blonde girl. I think I'm going to go with Olivia because it's probably her.
You just lied to Jake's face.
Yeah, Daniel.
Look here.
Damn,
Okay.
Daniel.
Okay.
Damn, Daniel.
Okay, so that sounds like something I might have said or watched or seen, seeing as I have seen every episode of The Bachelor this season. So maybe, but I'm not going to own up to it.
It just feels like you're lying to us. And I just want an apology. We just want an apology, Daniel.
I'll apologize if you cheer for me. I'm sorry.
Woo! Yeah. And that is the way it's done. But that is so beyond the point, to quote our favorite twins, who I'd like to take a minute to talk about. I think, longtime viewers of the show will know that all of us in the Batch Boys, I think, had a really strong connection with the twins. This is a question to all of you. I mean, do you still have feelings for them?
Are we talking about Emily and Haley or Amber's this episode?
Amber and Jamie.
Amber and Jamie, low-key closet twins.
Oh, that's not what I was referring to, but I was just...
You're referring to the
the
horse?
distracting shot.
I know what he's referring to.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Bad joke.
Mind in the gutter.
I know, sorry.
Clear Eyes Dan getting hazy, but we're going to talk about that later. After this commercial break. Just kidding. We don't have commercials.
Not yet, but you can... hit us up.
You can look forward to advertisements on the Batch Boys.
But yeah, the twins this season, awesome. Like, we've spoken at this before.
Mm-hmm.
Totally came in. It was my fault for thinking that, they're just going to be token twins, like what they were having them do for the exercises and together and stuff like that. And
Twins like we see every season, just the token twins.
just to meet ABC's twin quota.
but it turns out they were real people.
They were both real
Yeah.
individuals. I mean, kind of, except Ben
They were so
almost
young that they just had the fire in their belly still. You know what I mean? They didn't hold anything back. When they were disgusted, they would let you know that they were disgusted through their facial expressions. Even this episode, they're scowls aplenty.
They work in a Vegas nightclub, so it's often hard to communicate through words. So I'm sure that as part of their job, they have to communicate a lot through body language. Mm-hmm. So it makes sense that you would have gotten that read from them.
That's a great, astute observation. Sorry, I'm trying to use my big words this episode.
That was a big one.
Thank you.
Great
You're
one.
talking real smart.
Good.
He likes to talk smart things and think
Talk good.
talk good, smart things and be smart and read 6 books.
Thank you, Ryan.
Just like his pick. I think we all became a little bit more like our picks this season. Jake, do you feel like you became anything like JoJo, or that you learned things from JoJo about yourself?
Actually, yeah, I'm glad you asked, because I do feel that way. I feel like, at the beginning of this, I didn't exactly know what my place was. I didn't know, who I was or who I would become, who I could become. And seeing her journey to finding love and just being so true to herself and to everyone else, and being that shoulder, but also being that lightning rod, and also just being her own individual person that can take care of herself, she's so dynamic that I realize I can do that too. I can wear many hats so to speak. And all I had to do was make my head bigger. As a matter of speech.
Yeah, of course. You obviously speaking in euphemism or not.
It's an analogy. It's a metaphor.
You could have a hat like a unicorn hat, or a hat that says Texas.
Yeah, or a hat that just like goes all the way over your face.
Or one of those hats with the floppy ears that cover them during the winter, and you can tie them off around your neck.
Oh, yeah.
Or those little hats that you put on your feet when they go into your shoes.
Or like those hats that you wear
mean
over
socks?
over your mouth when you're sick.
Oh, like the hat, like the hat that you can grow right above your upper lip. The lip hat.
The hat that you put in your mouth around November time with the rest of the fam.
Or like that hat that's married to your mom and raises you.
That's the best hat of all.
I love you, hat.
See, shout out to all the hats out there.
And I think, in seeing Jubilee speak a lot tonight, we understood a little bit more about what it was like to grow up without a hat. Just no hats at all.
Hey, regardless of Jubilee's hat situation, she is a veteran, and we like to take a moment to thank her for her service.
Yeah.
In all seriousness.
Yeah,
Jubilee,
absolutely.
thank you for your service. She's a sergeant now. Respect her. Moving on to some lighter subject matter, though. Back to the comedy.
Well,
And I'm proud to be an American.
there's one thing I wanted to add about your point with JoJo, Jake, is that I just feel like for me with my pick, Kayla, I feel like it took me seeing how Ben acted with your pick, JoJo, and how much he loved her, to realize, where I was in my own relationship with my pick with Kayla.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. To where, like, I just didn't know it was possible to see that someone could be that way, to have a pick that could have that much love. And so it just gives me a lot of hope that my pick next year could be the one for me.
Wow,
You're saying you're coming back next year?
Wow. Look, you never say never, but
Are you gonna be
Casey,
on,
I gotta
Batch
ask you
Boys?
a question. Would you like a shot at being a batch boy for this year's season of The Bachelorette
in paradise.
and in Paradise?
I mean, yeah, of course I would.
Oh, big announcements this episode.
Dang.
Yeah.
And big, assumptions from Casey about Kayla potentially coming back. Lot of hot press about that. Kayla might be the next Bachelorette.
I didn't even mean it like that, but yeah.
True. Well, that too.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
there is just that too. There's that element as well. But I think, if she is, will be a very interesting season, because we're all on the record as saying may or may not be here for the right reasons.
I want it to be JoJo, but here's the thing. What we choose to do, just so you, the viewer, know, is we choose not to read up on the spoilies. We choose to just keep track with the show, so that when we speak to you, we're not ruining anything. But we actually don't know these things, so don't tweet at us anything that might spoil it for us.
No
So
spoilies.
this is a two-way street.
Jake, got any spoilies?
That's right.
And that's that. Just kidding. There's still more. Shoshana. I'd like to take some time to turn our attention. It was great to see her again, but the real question of the night, was Shoshana here for the right reasons? I think no.
Here to work on our English or
Yeah,
something.
9.
9? You got a fat 9. I don't know.
I don't even know if that's the language. It's
why
German.
did we meet her as someone who couldn't speak English? And tonight she was very
Niet
eloquent.
would be her language.
Niet?
Yeah, it's Russian for no.
Niet.
Miento?
Miento. Shout out to Miento.
That's a secret word of the day.
Miento, longtime contributor to the Batch Boys, giving her a personal shout out. Just has very strong opinions about the whole confrontation with Jubilee tonight. I think, Mient, I think we're in agreement with you. Jubilee is the American hero, has nothing to be ashamed of the way she acted, and I think she grew as a person through this whole process, and we're proud of Jubilee. Very, very, very proud of Jubilee.
We're also proud of our other friends that managed to get on The Bachelor before us.
Shout out to all like the Delta Gamma
Chapman girls. Yeah.
Delta Gamma of Chapman University, making the fourth like visit, the little visit that Chris
but
and
they were
Ben
the
did.
most important one. They were the most special
They were the
one.
big one, the really big one in the pajamas. We had some great friends there. We got some great screen caps on our phones. Shout out to everybody involved in that, representing the Batch Boy Nation.
And to our viewers at home, just go ahead and tweet at us your address next season, and if you're lucky, we'll show up to your house for the women tell all and sneak in and see how far we can get before you notice we're there, just like Ben and Chris did. And
it'll be a big fun game, and then maybe you can show us your fee bears.
It's like that, but with another hand.
Mm-hmm.
We can't do it because we're not in the thing, but we just did kind of fun stuff. Fun. Yeah, I don't think she was here for the right reasons. I don't actually care about Shoshana. There was a lot of people I didn't care about who were like vying for airtime
Like
tonight.
Izzy.
Yeah, Izzy.
Like,
who's Izzy?
Tacky and I Hate You Isabel. She wore the pajamas, so y'all remember her.
Okay.
But she was
She's-
eliminated week 1, I think.
Like Macklemore on his newest album, inserting himself into a problem where he has nothing to say.
Well, that was the case with Jamie too, which God knows where Jamie came. She didn't talk that much the entire season.
Yeah, until the one time she opened her mouth and got herself kicked out.
She got like immediately. For one time she talked, she got immediately into a fight and was like removed.
that was the Jubilee, the beginning of the Jubilee Jam.
classic period
And
of time.
that is my Jubilee Jam.
That's his jam. Raising kids, Amanda's.
Hey, Amanda, will you accept this rose for the quote of the episode? Mm-hmm. What was the exact quote?
Being a mom is my jam.
Being a mom is my jam.
I'll give it to her for quote of the episode, but quote of the season still comes down to the one they showed in the clip with Jubilee, where she's like, "So you don't see this going any further?"
I do not.
I do not. But being a mom is my jam.
And Ben does not see a future with Jubilee, but he does see a future with someone who probably is my pick, Lauren B. Really excited about it. I don't know about you guys. You guys have these doubts and these lessons you've learned. I haven't learned anything other than the fact that I know a lot about the show.
Set us up.
Yeah, I'm the real winner here. That's why I'm out here and you're in that.
If you play your cards right on The Bachelor, you'll walk away from the show learning nothing. That's the lesson for
Those
us
are the
to
real
learn.
winners.
Yeah.
But you got to think if like, do you think Lauren and B and Ben have learned anything about themselves? I feel
Absolutely not. That's their present.
Yeah, I think they happen to fit really well together.
Totally.
But I don't think that's a result of any change.
No,
You know what
it
I'm
was
saying?
It's
like,
a Bachelor success story.
they could have met.
it's-
These two could have easily have met like at a bar.
Well, like they could have
or
met doing
church.
something they both love together.
I think
Church.
Ben realized that he's no good at basketball. At the very least, he learned that he needs to stop listing that as his like interests.
Yeah, he's no drain man.
No Drain Man. Shout out to Drain
Ronnie,
Man.
half-court Ronnie.
Half-court Ronnie.
From Lauren B's hometown. Maybe he
Season
just needs
highlight.
lessons like on the low.
So many season highlights that they didn't even show. I mean, there's got to be. What was some of your season highlights that they didn't show tonight? I think, for me personally,
Leah's black eye.
Leah's black eye, which was
Yeah.
never actually shown.
That was bizarre. Where was it?
There was no
They didn't even
pinata.
talk about it in the Women Tell All.
Well, there was no pinata either, which is what they made. They sounded like. Does anyone remember in the season preview? Leah had a black eye. Was like, I can't believe she hit me in the face, and then it never happened.
I don't know. My theory on that is it was just an accident. She got hit in the face or something doing an activity, and for the actual show, there were other more important things going on, so she just put some makeup on it. And there was one episode that I even said, I was like, it looks like she might have a black eye there, but it might be the lighting. Who knows? But whatever. Who cares?
Who cares, Leah? You stink.
It's not a problem.
We don't like
Dan.
you. You start beef. She was another one who was vying for attention.
Problem to be afraid of your friends. Just have a black eye.
You dingus.
Is that Leah's inner monologue? Yeah. Hey, Leah. Everybody likes you a whole lot. Better get a black eye.
It's a secret black eye of the day. Right? Because of the voice.
I'd like to take this moment to get really personal on the show.
Oh,
there was
God.
times this season, Daniel, where we called you Clear Eyes Dan. But do you, Casey and Jake, do you agree that Daniel's eyes were always clear?
I do not.
How dare you?
How dare I?
Look at his eyes right now and tell me they aren't clear as day.
They could be clear right now. That doesn't mean that they have always been clear. That does not mean there was not a moment where they wavered and clouded.
Daniel, do you have any way to defend yourself? Because from my perspective, you got a little hazy sometimes, Dan. Sometimes you miss the mark.
Yeah,
every once in a while.
I-
Like Olivia, like your pick Olivia.
And like with my heinous comment earlier this episode, my lewd, disgusting, filthy. I don't know what Daniel you guys got back there, but that was not me.
Well, where's the Daniel that's always talking about having pride in a woman's confidence?
That's the clear eyes Dan we love.
Yeah, who's this Daniel talking about her tatas as some kind of background eye candy? Yeah, who is this? I don't like this Daniel.
Do you need a tissue, Daniel?
I need
we don't
contact
have
lenses.
Yeah, we need to get Daniel some LASIK surgery, but maybe next season the eyes will be clearer.
I just want to say thank you to Casey. Casey's the Clint to my JJ in this moment right now.
Aw, guys.
I hope we can fight on Paradise.
Wow, that would be really fun. And speaking of Casey fighting, Jake is a psychology expert.
Ooh, psychology.
As we all know, since season one,
Well,
since
minor.
episode 1, Daniel's a psychology minor, or Jake is a psychology minor. Excuse
That's
me.
right.
Not to miscredit here. As a psychology minor, what do you think Casey's problem is? What's wrong with Casey?
Let's see where to begin. Narrow it down for me.
Well, as we all know, Casey liked to stir the pot a little bit this season. He would always come in with these theories
Yes,
that would
yes.
cause a lot of controversy. And what do you think that's about?
Well, Casey is one of the most insecure people I've ever met. So what that means is that in him projecting those insecurities on us, he's trying to stir the pot, so to speak, by making other people feel as insecure as he feels, much like Leah did, or Leah, on the episode where she went, home. And on top of that, I think he might be somewhere on the
Ryan, sorry, if I could jump in
Wrong
here.
season.
Look, sorry to cut you off, Jake C, but I don't think you ever took the time to get to know me, and I don't feel like
I took the time to be a minor in psychology. So
Casey's like an onion. He's like a stinky onion. You got to peel back the layers. You got to get in there. You got to get in there and know that
look,
boy.
if you had these problems with me, why didn't you just tell them to my face? Like with Jubilee, all the girls would always tell her. You never told me that you didn't like my theories.
there was like 4 opportunities that I had to tell you, and like one of them I did.
I was actually in the room when Jake did say something. So, I think, and not to mention the fact that you smell like sour garbage.
Yeah.
And you have dragon breath and cankles.
but once you eat the onion, you don't notice that anymore.
So are you going to eat the onion, or are you going to go to Bachelor in Paradise? You have 2 choices.
It's just kind of hard to sit here and know that none of you don't know what this was like for me. There's no right way to do this. There's no, and if I
Casey, let me interrupt you. This hurts right now, real bad, huh? How bad does it hurt? Why does it hurt so bad?
What did the people?
it hurts, Ryan. Of course it hurts. It's supposed to hurt.
Why? What part of you hurts? Is it your pride?
What did the people say?
Is it your inner romantic? Does everyone?
I just know that if I could go back and do this season again, and there are different ways that I could have explained my thoughts on this season. And I'm sorry. I want to say I'm sorry to Jake C. That because I know that I'm working on me.
I accept your apology.
Apology accepted. I guess we're running out of time here. I mean, there's a lot more things we could talk about. I think for me, probably the biggest thing that's happened to me is probably all the negative attention I got on the internet.
What did they write?
They said that I
No,
talk.
specifically, what did they write about you?
We got a nasty email to the Batch Boys that said that I talked too much on our first episode. So I tried to talk less. And then
You're talking a lot right now.
I know, because I learned that I need to stop overthinking every single internet comment that I get. And if I want to talk, I'm going to talk because I'm proud of who I am. And I love The Bachelor. And I don't regret anything.
Let's give it up from.
Thank you. Thank you.
Is it too late to call Leo and get it back?
Yeah.
Let's tweet at him. Everybody tweet at Leo DiCaprio and tell him to give his Oscar to Ryan Silverman of the Batch Boys.
And tweet at us.
I just leaked my own name. I didn't even mean to do
that
that.
all of us?
What's the name?
It was all of
No,
us.
Casey's still good.
No, my name
not.
is Stolberg. It's Stolberg.
All right, if you want to connect with us, you can find us on Twitter at Batch Boys. You can find us on Instagram at The Batch Boys. You can go to iTunes and look for us there. You can watch us on YouTube and on SoundCloud. We post every week after an episode of whatever Bachelor show is going on. And yeah, please leave us comments and stuff. Please share the show.
It's exciting. This is the penultimate episode of the Batch Boys Season 1. For all of our day ones, thanks for sticking in there. We really do. In all seriousness, we have grown
Really,
as people, and
we
we've
have.
grown as a show, and it's all because of you and your messages and your tweets and your likes. Thanks for sticking with us. We're gonna we'll probably have a pick for the bet.
Well, yeah, we'll tell you guys next week, so stay tuned.
Stay
Or
tuned for
tune
some
again.
hot content from the Batch Boys, and let's look forward to seeing Ben on his knee for Lauren B. or possibly JoJo, right? I mean,
So, moms.
to moms,
Well,
to hats,
to hats.
To hats.
to hats. Here, 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 here.